What's up, gorgeous people? Welcome to another episode of Figuring Life Out. I'm Camila, your host, and welcome back to another week. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? January is finally over. In my last episode, I said that January was not feeling that long, but clearly I was wrong because the last week felt like at least 2 weeks. At least. But anyways, January is over. How was the month for you guys? Please let me know in the comments if you're watching, if you're listening from YouTube, watching on YouTube, yeah. And if you're listening from another of our platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Castbox, leave me a review letting me know how was your first month of the year. Maybe go to my Instagram DMs and just write me something like, if you want to talk about it with someone, feel free to hit my DMs. Okay, so January is over, but February just started, which means love. And here on this side of the internet, on this corner of the internet, we're doing a full love month. Here and on our social medias, like Figuring Life Out is turning pink and red for Valentine's month, for whole February. And we are going to be talking about love. Whether it's self-love, platonic love, romantic love, maternal love, that has a name. The love, the kind of love that is between family has a name. I just don't remember it. But yeah, we're going to be covering all of it. We're going to be giving advice about how to survive this month without losing your mind. Because let's be honest and real, a lot of us are still single. And Valentine's Day and all of the situation surrounding this festivity, sometimes it's very stressful and depressing for some of us, but I got you covered. And today in this episode we're going to be talking about the unhinged part of love. Yes, so this episode it's another people are unhinged, and it's Valentine's edition, like love edition, dating edition, however you want to call it. So actually people are unhinged was supposed to be the second part was supposed to be out on January, but by the time I remember it, I already had the 2 episodes of January recorded, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do it on February, the first episode of February, because dating is also an unhinged, a very, very unhinged thing. And I have a story time that I'm going to share. It's the first thing that I'm going to share with you guys on today's episode, because it's the most funny, concerning thing that happened to me last year when it comes to romantic love, so I have to share it. Okay. Today we have an update from one of the previous stories we read on Reddit. By the way, if you're new here, I already introduced myself. So People Are Unhinged is a segment of the podcast where I read Reddit stories from different Reddit communities, Bridezilla, Am I the Asshole, Entitled Parents, Entitled People, whatever I find on Reddit that to me is interesting or funny. So yeah, that's what we do on the People Are Unhinged episodes. So yeah, that's all the introduction you guys need. So before we start, let me give you guys a little reminder. We are available on Castbox, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify to listen. Please go subscribe, leave me a review, So I know that you enjoy what you're listening, and I don't know if you have advice or some suggestions to topics to talk about. Just feel free to also leave them there or slide into my DMs with the suggestions. We are also available on YouTube on video format. That's what you guys are seeing now. If you're seeing from there, we have 3 episodes there. We have, this one is the third one. We have episode 14, and we have the first episode, Welcome to Adulthood. That is the first episode that I released back in 2023. So feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on the notifications so YouTube will let you know every time a new episode is up. Same on the other platforms. Just turn your notifications on so you can know when a new episode is out. Okay, so that's it, and let's begin. Okay, so the first story is mine. So a little context. I have been single for 6 years. I've been single for 6 years. I barely had any contact in a romantic setting with the opposite sex. In these 6 years, I kissed a guy once. Well, I just shut it. It was actually twice. I kissed 2 guys twice in different occasions. The first one was a traumatic experience for me. Second one was a little bit more interesting, more fun, but still it was like. And then last year I went on a date. I went on my first date in almost, back then it was already 6 years. 7 years. Yeah, in 7 years, because I haven't been on a first date since my previous relationship. So I went on my first date in 7 years. And it was something. It was interesting, to say the least. So I was already working, because I'm a working girl. I was a working girl. I haven't been working since September. And this was, I think, back in July. August. I don't remember. It was end of July. Yeah, I think it was July and August. It was around that time. One of my best friends, had this activity related to her work where they were going to be to an observatory and we were going to watch Venus. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. I don't go out a lot, so let's do it. I dressed as cute as possible, as cute as I could. I was actually not really trying to date no one. I was about Venus, okay? So I just wanted to see Venus. And it's Venus, right? Yeah, it's Venus. So I went there. I meet with her, with some of her friends that are like the nicest people. Like, I love them to pieces. I've only had like one guy friend back when I was in middle school, high school, and ever since then most of my friends are girls, and I don't know how to act around girls. Around boys, in a friend setting, because I don't know. I don't know how to act. But her friends are just like the nicest guys I've ever met. They're so fun. They have nice conversation. They're just fun all around. But anyways, I was there, I was having fun with them. I was talking about random things. I was talking about politics. I was talking about religion. And this is random. This has nothing to do with it. But I have to tell the whole story. We couldn't see Venus because there were a lot of clouds, so we ended up watching the moon, which is beautiful. Like, you have to see the moon on a telescope. It's just the most amazing thing ever. Like, the rings, it's beautiful. Not the rings, they're not called the rings, the circles. I don't remember the words correctly. And it was like such a beautiful experience. And I go in there with one of her friends, because it was very tiny space, and I'm just like, we watch the moon, we keep talking, we go out. to wait for them, for the rest of the group to go and watch the moon too. And we started talking with this group of, I think there were 2 or 3 guys, I don't remember honestly. Yeah, there were 2 and we were 3. Yeah, it was 3 of us and 2 of them, and we started talking while we were waiting. And the conversation was fine, it was fun. And one of the other guys from the other groups, I was like, okay, he's cute, he's so cute, he looks cute, okay. Like, I was like, okay, he looks cute. In my mind, I was like, the conversation was interesting, so to me that was like huge, because someone that has an interesting conversation is like chef's kiss. Anyways, we leave the building, we go our several ways, we say our goodbyes, we exchange names, but we didn't exchange numbers. We start walking back to our friend's house, to other friends that we were staying there for the weekend. And I was like, there's this guy. We started talking, boys, because that's what we do. We started talking boys because one of them has a boyfriend, and we started talking about the relationship, and we started talking. And I was like, okay, so this guy that we met there, I think he's cute. Do you think one of your friends, because he was the friend of a friend of one of my friends, so I was like, do you think he can get his number? And he was like, he doesn't know him. He was like, I don't know, I don't think that he knows him, but I'm just gonna ask. So the next day she texted so the next day she texted her friend, her friend, and she was like, she thought this guy was cute, can you get me his number? And he was like, I don't know him, but I'm gonna ask my friend. So the thing happened, they asked the friend asked the guy, like, hey, someone is asking me for your number, can I give it to her? And she was like, yeah, no, it's okay, like, she's going to text you. And he was like, yeah, okay, it's fine. So they sent me the content, and she was like, he knows you're going to text him. And I was like, okay, that's a lot of pressure, but okay. So we started talking. I texted him first. The conversation was nothing like big, but it was an interesting conversation. And now it was like music, movies, and all of that basic getting to know you conversation. And he's like I said, I was working. I was already a working girl, but he was still in school at uni. So he was like, what day can you do? Like in the morning? I was like, nope, I have work, so it has to be in the afternoon around this time, so I can go to work, leave work, meet you, and then go back to my house early before the night falls. And she was like, okay. We tried to schedule a day, and this was all in the matter of 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And then on Monday it was go day. It was like, okay, we're gonna meet on Monday at this place. It was actually the place where my mom works, because she works at a hotel, so it was at the cafeteria of the hotel. So I knew, and I was like, cool, okay. I did my hair very cutesy, because like I said, this was the first time that I was on a first date since 2016, which is like worse. And I was excited. I dressed up cutely, I put on cutely and comfy, okay, something that showed my personality and my style. And I was like, okay, let's do this. I was nervous, like I said, so we meet. He drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't like coffee, so I asked for a lemonade because it was summer. It was very hot, and I asked for my lemonade. The lemonade was very mid. Anyways, we started talking, and the conversation is very like monotone. Yeah. Like, how many siblings do you have? what do you do? He was like, oh, I'm studying. He's studying psychology. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I wanted to study psychology, but my grandma convinced me to do otherwise, but I don't regret it because I met my friends. I like what I study, and blah, blah, blah. He's my age. And I was like, oh, and he is also a Pisces, so I was like, wow, your birthday is on March. It was like a few days after mine. And then we keep talking, oh, where do you live? And I was like, oh, I live there. And he was like, oh, I live in this place. And it was like very, very close to my grandma's, my paternal grandma house. And I was like, oh, I know, I've been there. My grandma lives around, blah, blah, blah. And the conversation started lifting, but then it went again, like it went monotone again. And I was like, okay, this is it. Like, I don't see chemistry here. I don't see like another interesting conversation here. And he's like, maybe, and all of this I was thinking, and he was like, oh, hey, what are you going to do now? Maybe you can go and sit in front of at the bay. It's not a bay, it's like, I don't know how you say it in English, but in Spanish it's called malecón. And I was like, I don't know, but at the same time I want to give him a second chance, because maybe right now he's very, very shy, he's feeling awkward, he's feeling anxious. And I was like, okay, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, let's go with him. And we started talking. He was like, what do you do on your free time? Music and blah, blah, blah. At this point, I was not feeling it. I wasn't. Like, I'm sorry, but I wasn't. I tried my best to feel the conversation to see if there was any chemistry there. But the conversation was so boring. Like, and you can see it in my body language, because he was like sitting right next to me and my body was like this. Yeah, and we were talking and my body was completely the other way, like completely. And he was like, oh, where do you live? And like, he was trying to convince me to stay later, and I was like, I can't. That was like me saying like, it's enough, like I can't, I'm sorry, my mom is waiting for me, I have to cook, I have to get home early. By this time, I think it was around 5 or something, we met at 3, so we stayed like 1 hour or so at the cafeteria, and then we walked until the malecón, and then we sat there. And like I said, I was not feeling it, and it was about to be 6, and I was like, I need to be home early, because I have to go by myself, so I cannot be here. And I was like, that's enough. I was trying to skedaddle out there, and he started like this is the fact that this is unhinged is because like, how do you say to me that you are studying psychology but you don't understand the body language? Like, what? Like, okay, so I have a tattoo there, okay? You can see it if you're watching. I have like a cute son there, and he started touching me. He was like, oh, you have a tattoo, that's so cute. And I was like, yeah, I have two others. I have one on my ribs, that's because of Lilo and Stitch or Hannah. I have dragons because I am a very god fan, like I love it. And he was like, oh yeah, that's so cool, blah blah blah. Oh my god, I love your rings. And he started touching my hands. I was like, yeah, thank you. Again, my body was fully on the opposite direction of him. Like, I was feeling so uncomfortable. But guys, you live and you learn, okay? And he kept like, oh my god, your earrings, they're so cute. And I was like, thank you. Thank you. I'm laughing because I was so uncomfortable, and like, I'm an introvert. I don't know how to react in this kind of situations, and I'm just gonna laugh it out. And I was like, no, we keep talking, and I was like, I don't even remember what we were talking that it came to that point, but he was like praising me like, you're so smart and blah blah blah, and I just want to kiss you. And I was like, I didn't even have time to say yes or no. He was like, I just want to kiss you. And he kissed me, and it was honestly one of the worst kisses. It's not like I have kissed a lot of people, but out of the 5 people out of the 5 people that I've kissed along my 23 years old, almost 24, he was for sure the second or third worst kiss ever. And like, I was like, this is so uncomfortable. What? How did I get here? How did we get here? Like, I didn't even have time to pivot and be like, no. And he kissed me, and that was it. Like, it was done. The kiss was done. Like, it was uncomfortable as hell. I was like, yeah, this is not happening. But okay, I was like, I have to go. My mom just texted me. It was a lie. She didn't text me. Somebody else texted me, but he was not seeing my phone. So I was like, my mom just texted me, like she's waiting for me. Like, I have to cook. I have to go now. I was like, yeah, okay. He accompanied me. He went with me so I can get the car back to my house, which I had to take 2 cars. And I took one, and I was like, oh my god, this is so uncomfortable. And I was like, you can see him. I swear to God, this is what to me is super unhinged. How are you studying psychology and you cannot tell when someone is uncomfortable? Because I know, I didn't study psychology, but I know when one of my friends is uncomfortable for something. Like, you can see it in your body, in their body language. And even so, if you don't know me, like, bro, what part of my facial expression and my body language was telling you to kiss me? Like, what? Anyways, the car came. I was like, yeah, no, I have to go. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And he kissed me, and I was like, that was uncomfortable. And it was like, yeah, no, get home safe. I'll text you. And I was like, yeah. As soon as I got into that car, I was like, this is traumatizing. Like, what just happened? What just happened? So I, like every girl will do, I texted my friends, and I was like, this just happened. Like, this was the worst day ever. Like, this was really uncomfortable. Like, what is this? What just happened? And I told them. They weren't online in that moment, but I left the message. And then I went home. My mom was already there. I was like, I have to get this this awkwardness out of my body. So I texted my other best friend, like, we're going to the gym right now, because I need to work out to get this out of my system. I changed. I cooked really, really quick. I changed. She came, and I was like, let's go. And I was like, girl, and this was awful. And I told her everything that happens, and she laughed at me, and she was like, why didn't you say no? And I was like, I did not have time. I didn't have time to say no. Like, the dude was like, I didn't have time to say no. Now, the aftermath, I am going to admit I was a little bit wrong, because I kind of ghosted him unintentionally, because I didn't know what to say, how to reject the guy. So I just was like, I'm home safe, and that's it. And then, like, 1 day or 2 days later, what I did was not alright. Okay, was not right, but I didn't know how to act in that situation. I didn't. And he was like, poor thing. He was like, are you ghosting me? And I was like, okay. In other words, like, it was a very mid-long message that made me feel very bad. And I was like, you know what? You're right. My bad. I should have told you once the day was over that I was not feeling it, that I did not feel any chemistry between us, instead of, blocking you and all of that. That the guy was trying to have emotional responsibility, and I was like, no. and Anyways, I apologized to him. We were like, okay, we're cool. That's okay. Things happen. We never talk about it. And that's my unhinged story about my first day in over 7 years. The good thing is that he recommended me a Maneskin song. Maneskin? I don't know how you say that in English. Maneskin song, which is Coraline. Yeah, it's Coraline, and I just loved it. And that's like, that's what I take out of that awkward situation. It was an awkward situation. It was a very weird date. It was a bad kiss, but at least I left the whole thing with a very good song. So yeah. Next story. Okay, so today we have around 5 stories to read. 2 are from entitled people, 1 is from long distance, and the last 2 are from Am I the asshole? Am I AATH? Am I the asshole? And we have an update from one of the stories that I read on the first episode that is going to be left for the end of the episode. In case you want to know what happened, is the update on the I, maid of honor, found out the bride talked shit behind my back the entire wedding day, but still had me plan / pay for everything. So if you want to know the update on that story, you can go to the last part of the episode, because that's the last story that I'm going to read. So we are going to start with, am I the asshole for breaking up with my boyfriend over this? So my boyfriend and I have been dating for a few weeks. We were friends for a few years and he liked me this entire time. I finally decided to give him a chance. At the beginning, it didn't go very well. He kept mentioning sexual stuff that caught me off guard. And even though we aren't close and barely even started dating, he would constantly make those jokes and it made me very uncomfortable. I told him I had boundaries, so he said the F word, those boundaries. He kept saying stupid shit like, you're mine, your body is mine, it's all mine. Or, I can't wait to have my hands all over your body when we meet. This made me so damn uncomfortable. He also kept responding late, and I felt like he just didn't care and wasn't putting any effort. A few days later, he insisted that if we do date, he needs a picture of my butt. What the fuck? Let me put like this so you guys can see my face. Or just a picture with me arching my back so my body is visible. Are you okay, dude? I feel like you aren't. This made me so uncomfortable, but I felt like I was being forced. So, after that, I told him if I do send him this stuff, he has to deserve it. And after that, he immediately started acting better and treating me so well. However, today he asked me what my bra size was, and I thought that was a stupid question. Unless you want to buy me a bra, I don't see how that's your problem. How that's none of your business. But okay. I told him none of your business, that's personal. And he started saying I'm a bad girlfriend. He told me I'm not fun and this stuff happens in a relationship. He got a little mad, and again, when I mentioned I have boundaries, he said, boundaries are for other people, not for your boyfriend. I can do whatever I want since we're dating. Okay. You are not fun, but you are my girlfriend. I also thought he seemed narcissistic sometimes. So today when we got into an argument, he said I'm always right. So then I said, please stop, you are acting like my dad. My dad is narcissistic and treated everyone horribly. He was physically but mostly emotional abusive. You can see story times about him on my page. Again, I'll leave the stories link. He knows what my dad is like and he started making jokes about my dad and my trauma. Oh hell no. He then said I was acting like him on purpose. I thought it was funny. I was very offended and that made him think it was even funnier. I did not want to be disrespected. I did not want to be disrespected. I did not want to be disrespected like that. He thinks it's not fun and I'm being boring, but he's forcing me to do things I'm not comfortable with. My mother doesn't like him since he acts like my dad, and all my friends hate him. I think I'm going to break up with him. What do you think? Am I just being dramatic and boring? But to me, just because we are old enough to do it doesn't mean we have to if both parties aren't comfortable with it. So especially for men, do you relate to this guy? And women, what do you think? Are your boyfriends/husbands like this, or have you had past relationships similar to this? Okay, girly, this story is 8 days old. Girly, dump his ass. Dump him. Just the first comment, like, of boundaries, to me, that would be enough to be like, okay, we're done. When people show you who they are the first time, trust them. Man has no respect for you, probably for any woman, because this kind of behavior is icky, to say the least. So, girly pop, just dump him. Also, as a friend who has hated my friends' boyfriends, when it's one person, I can understand, but when the entire group of friends does not like him, like something is off, and your mom does not like him, don't. I know that there are exceptions to the rule because people are complicated because we're humans, but most of the times when your parents, your your elders who love you and appreciate you and know you and have more experience in life don't see like a guy or a girl being a good match for you, is because when they say that someone is not a good match for you, it's because they are seeing something from their experience that you are not. And I've said before, like, different people have to experience life in different ways. Some people learn by listening to advice, other people have to go face off against the wall. Please, baby, don't be to everyone that is listening out there, don't be the person that goes face off against the wall. When someone who loves you and respects you and has your best interests in mind tells you that something feels off about someone, you believe they're suspicious. You start to watch what the other person does, how is the other person being icky, what's turning those alarms. Because sometimes when you are falling in love, your love is blind. You don't see those things. And sometimes it's very, very late. So in cases like this, if somebody comes with the BS of F boundaries, F this relationship. Because we are not doing that, okay? It's 2025. Girls and boys and everyone around there. Yeah. We don't do that. We don't allow abusive people into our space. We are not Mother Teresa. We don't have to be like, but I can change him. No, you cannot. Okay? You cannot. Just dump his ass. Let's see what people on Reddit have to say about it. Someone said, break up with him. Never change your boundaries for anyone. If he doesn't respect you now, he never will. Like I said, this is he does not respect you. He's very probably, like I said, probably doesn't respect you, and he doesn't respect other women. Somebody else said, this is not normal. You should 1,000,000% break up with him. You both sound pretty young. Yeah, how old is she? She doesn't say the age. You both sound pretty young, and it's possible he genuinely thinks what he's doing is okay. But it's really, really not. Under no circumstances should you date this person, and honestly, unless he's willing to seriously re-evaluate his ideas about sex and relationships, you probably shouldn't let this person into the same zip code as you. I agree. So somebody else commented something, and OP responded, not the asshole. You guys has that guy. Not the asshole. That guy has some serious issues, and you are not obligated to be part of that. You have to put yourself first in this situation, for sure. He got a ton of growing up to do. You can have a healthy relationship without mutual respect. His self-perceived entitlement to your body is genuinely scary. Yeah, that's scary. OP responded, "Aw, thank you, you're a real man. The thing is, I have experiences like this a lot. I hope I can find a guy at some point who isn't like this, but I do consider breaking up with him, and I agree that the shit he says is so odd. I'm sorry you had to go through," the guy responded, "I'm sorry you had to go through those experiences. I'm sure you'll find someone out there who will show the proper respect and boundaries that you deserve. I'm only a stranger on Reddit and don't know much about this guy. But unless he has some major epiphany and grows up, it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem likely that your situation is going to improve. He doesn't come across as someone who views women, like I said, as equal, as he basically saying he owns you. People that display this type of behaviors can also become very manipulative, maybe guilt-tripping or promising change. Be kind to yourself, stand up for yourself, and be strong." Like I said, he doesn't have any respect for women. The way this man expresses himself, it's like, it's awful. So no, you're not the a-hole. You're not. And dump his ass before it's too late. Okay, so next story is coming from Entitled People, and it's titled Entitled Boyfriend Loses His Mind. I used to work at one of the big 4 banks in Canada. One day, a short, slender young man came in and appeared extremely upset. I put on my best customer service face and asked him how could I help him. He told me he needed to see his girlfriend's credit card statements. Oh great, another jealous boyfriend. I squared my shoulders, took a deep breath, and informed him that I couldn't do that. He said, "But I'm her boyfriend." Foolishly thinking rationally, I asked him how I could know that. He barked out, "Because I'm telling you, that's not how it works, babe." But okay. Sensing a rational conversation would be impossible, I tried to appeal to his empathy. I asked him how he would feel if his girlfriend asked to see his credit card statement. He screamed that he would be fine with it and proceeded to have a rage-filled profanity, lace, stomping, dancing tantrum for the next 5 minutes. He looked like a tiny raging little goblin. Apparently, he thought this would persuade me to break the law and lose my job for him. Oh my god, some people have no sense of embarrassment, clearly. Oh my god. After he stomped, he strode back to my counter and asked for his Dude is unbelievable. After he stopped, he strode back to my counter and asked for his girlfriend's credit card statements again, as if the last 10 minutes had never happened. This time, I told him that it would be illegal to show him his girlfriend's credit card and statement. This time, I told him that it would be illegal to show him his girlfriend's credit card statement. But all his efforts had failed. He called me a string of insults. He called me a string of insulting profanities and finally left the bank. I almost breaking the door. So glad I don't work there anymore. See, people need help, guys. Like, so this is one of the most funny stories about boyfriends and entitled people I read here. Like, can you imagine being a grown-ass man and be like, I want my girlfriend's credit card statements, and the girl attending you telling you like, I'm sorry, that's not possible, and you being like, but I'm her boyfriend, and then throwing a tantrum like a 5-year-old. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Okay, so there are 3 edits. Edit 1. I wanted to address some questions that have popped up repeatedly for the individuals who feel I didn't handle the situation appropriately. I worked with the public for many years and I'm in sorry. I worked with the public for many years, and in my judgment, being rude would have led to a rapid escalation and could have resulted in me being injured. I wasn't negotiating or enabling this. I wasn't negotiating or enabling this conduct by speaking with him after I told him no. I was trying to calm him down. Edit number 2. I would have notified the girlfriend if I could, but in my judgment, asking for her name could have led to the young man thinking I was going to comply with his request. Yeah. My subsequent refusal could have led to an explosive escalation. Potentially, it could have been I could have been physically attacked. It has happened before. And last but not least, we didn't have security. Most banks in Canada don't. I didn't call the police because this was relatively a minor event compared to other things that have happened. He didn't injure anyone or damage any property. So yeah, little boy wanted to stalk his girlfriend, and he threw a tantrum because he couldn't. So the comments are basically like people telling similar stories to this. Someone saying that he wanted to financially abuse her. Someone saying maybe he wants to prove that she's cheating on him, but plot twist that she is cheating on him, but plot twist he's cheating on her, and is there violently projecting. If anyone ever came in and tried to see my accounts, I expect the bank to freeze my account and contact me immediately. I don't even know what the proper protocol is, but I would like to be made aware that an angry man is trying to get access to my statements. That's insane behavior, and the account holder's safety might be in jeopardy. Crazy people do crazy shit. He was not mad. He was just having a tantrum. He probably didn't have his lunch, and he was hungry. He was moody. Okay. Dude really thought that having a tantrum was going to help him get the bank statements. People are very, very crazy. Okay, so let's go with the long distance ones, because it's actually a serious matter, guys. Okay. Also, like, do you guys think you could be in a long distance relationship? Like, leave me in the comments. Um, I feel like unless I met the person first and it was like we're boyfriend and girlfriend, then you have to move, or I had to move for like, and we saw each other like every 3 months. I don't know. It's just I'm a very clingy person, and I need that. Like my love language is physical touch and quality time. So I don't think I could. But I want to listen to you guys' opinions, because this, while I was searching for stories to read, I found some very interesting situations, and I was like, I was genuinely curious about it. I even asked my friends, like, do you think I could handle it? Could you guys handle like a long distance relationship? um and yeah, like, leave me just in the comments somewhere, like, what's your take on long distance. So, is my relationship worth pursuing alone? This is from Ready Long Distance. The links are going to be in the description. Hi, 18 male. I'm currently in a long distance relationship with a girl, 18 female, who I honestly love. She is very sweet, kind, and we have so much in common that I consider her a female version of me. That's so cute. Oh, I have a pimple there and it's hurting. If our relationship was in person, I would feel as if I found my future wife without a doubt in my mind. I love her that much. But there is one single problem that is putting our great relationship in severe danger, and that is the long distance between me and my girlfriend. I live in Seattle, Washington. I think that's Washington. I don't know. I live in Seattle, Washington, while my girlfriend lives in Toronto, Canada. This distance is making it essentially impossible to visit each other frequently. We've been dating. Oh no, that's not Washington. I don't know. Where's Seattle, guys? I have to look at the map to know. We've been dating for about 1 year now, and honestly, I want to move to Canada one day and live with her and spend the rest of my life there someday, since I've always wanted to move to Canada, especially Toronto. Moving to Canada sounds like a great plan for me that I'd totally be willing to do, but the problem is that I feel like I'm too young and won't have enough money anytime soon to make such a big move like that. Okay, I have my things when it comes to being this young and being in love and relocating yourself, but I'll wait until I finish the story. I'm currently in college and so is she, so in order to move to her, I'll need to suddenly change so much about my life that I'm not sure I'm ready for. I would be willing to move to Canada by the time in my mid 20s, but at 18, I know I'm not ready for that yet. This makes me extremely nervous about our relationship because of just how long we'd have to wait in order for our relationship to actually go into play. Considering I won't be able to move to Canada for quite a few years, that means we have to wait many years in order to start our relationship in person. That is at least 5 years without going out on a date together, going to each other's homes, creating great memories in person, touching each other, say, kissing, hugging, having the word. I don't know if I can say it here, but having the intimacy. And just about everything that makes a relationship so special. As we all know, being there physically for your partner is very important in many ways, as it allows for those great moments to happen and can allow you to do just about anything with each other. I do plan on trying to visit her during the summer, but that would be very expensive, especially since I have to go myself, and as a broke college student in the US, it makes it really difficult to be able to visit her without being brutally stopped financially. Maybe she can come visit, unless she's also a broke uni student like you. The problem with long distance relationships is that you're forced to only be able to talk, watch movies, shows, and play video games with each other. While this isn't a problem for most healthy and loyal relationships, if you know that a long distance relationship will turn into an in one person relationship within 2, maybe 3 years tops. But 5, which is what is projected to be, is a long time to wait. Yes, it is. Considering how much I love my girlfriend and how well we get along, I wouldn't mind the wait, but I'm not 100% sure if she's willing to wait that long, or if she's even thought of the thought of that our long distance relationship will take a few years to become in person. I'm not confident that she'd be willing to wait that long, and I'm terrified of the likely chance that she'd end up leaving me for another man she finds in her area. Yeah, that's also like a very normal fear. Even though I treat her so well, there will likely be a point where she becomes desperate for physically romantic contact and activities after what will likely be years of sitting on the computer or phone all day talking to a screen. Again, this isn't a problem for us short term, but long term it will likely get really depressing and will cause serious tensions on the decision to end the relationship. I'm mostly just terrified that my girlfriend over time will decide to cheat on me after getting tired of waiting without me ever knowing, or that I will be told that she's leaving me for another man out of nowhere despite putting my all into the relationship. The thought makes me sick to my stomach. So with all the info, I ask, what are the chances this relationship works? What can I do to prolong this relationship enough to be able to keep her pleased and entertained so she doesn't leave? Also, if you have any ideas, what advice can you give me as a broke college student to be able to move to Toronto by himself and be able to afford it? First of all, babes, you are extremely young. You haven't even lived a quarter of your life yet. You have a lot in front of you. And I hate to be that person, but you see a future with her. Have you asked her if she sees a future with you? Have you guys realistically talked about that, about how is this going to play on the long term? Like, I feel like that's right now your first step is talk to her about your concerns. Like, I see myself with you, because maybe, and again, I hate to be this person, but maybe you see a future with her but she doesn't see a future with you. So you have to communicate. One of the most important things in relationships is communication, and active communication. Okay, you both listen to each other, try to understand each other, put each other on the other one's shoes, and try to understand what the other one is feeling. There needs to be empathy, a lot of empathy involved. So I don't know if you're going to see this, I don't know if you're going to listen to this, but if you do, if anyone is going through this, I feel like you have to communicate those concerns to your partner. Like, I see a future with you, like, I want to do this long term. Do you see yourself with me? Because first of all, like I said, you're way too young. I feel like at 18 we should not be looking for like your forever partner, like your husband. But that's just me based on the way I was raised, based on my personality, based on my goals and the way I see life. Like, you're way too young. And I don't mean like you have to be out partying and all of that, but moving countries for someone is a huge step in a relationship. You have to be financially stable. You have to have savings to rent a place, pay a down payment, and food, and I know that in a lot of places here where I live in South Africa, it's the same. Like, you have to have a car to move around. You need to assess if you are going to need to pay for a car to move from one place to another. How about changing schools? Because if you're still 18, I don't think you should. One thing I'm going to fight whoever, whenever, it's the fact that your studies came first. Your education comes first. I don't care if this is the love of your life. If this person is the love of your life, that person who would not want you to give up your education like they wanna. So you have to think, what are you going to do about college? Are you going to change college? Are you going to just leave college to move with her? There's like a lot of things that need to be thought. And I don't think, I might be wrong because I don't know this guy, but I don't think that at 18 you have all of that maturity. Because one thing is when you move to study, because you're gonna have to work ultimately, because in a lot of universities you only have, like, they only secure you a dorm for the first year. So you have to work to pay, but to pay that dorm, but you have a dorm. Okay, you know that at the end of the day you have a place to go to, and and that's like secure. Like, nobody's gonna take your place, at least for the first year of college or uni. But when you don't know, like, you have to, there's a lot of things to think about. So I feel like you shouldn't. You guys, I feel like you guys, if you really like this person, like, you should find ways around it. Like, maybe you work for the first year, you get money, and then you visit her 1 year, and then it's the opposite. Like, she works and she visits you on summer, on breaks, vacation, and you spend time together. At the end of the day, I don't know how your families will feel about this, but she could stay at your house, so she wouldn't have to pay like accommodation. You could stay at her house. It's just a lot to think about at 18. You both are very, very young. But let's see what Reddy has to say. There's only one? Yeah, there's only one. There's only one answer. The chances are, in my opinion, mostly high, but only if you two want it. If one of you is lacking, then it won't work out. You should honestly talk to her about it. Tell her that it possibly could take 5 years and see what she thinks about it. And I know it's scary, but you need to ask her. If she does not want 5 years, then there's no way for it to work out. But who said it has to be 5 years? Who knows? Maybe some opportunity opens and you can go there abroad for a semester or something. I don't know how it works over there. Well, you can really do anything besides being a good partner. Ask her for her needs. What are the needs that need to be fulfilled right now? You two could meet for a little time, maybe. I know it's hard, but maybe possible if you two look around enough. You can try to satisfy her by giving her gifts, writing letters, gifting her stuff from you like a sweatshirt, and so on. Get creative, but no matter what you do, if she doesn't want to do it, then you can't do anything about it. Don't beat yourself up. If she cheats at the end, then there is nothing you could have done. If she wants to leave, she will. Exactly. I can give you advice about that. Sadly, I don't know how the situation is like in US and Canada. Maybe you two can meet for just 3 days every couple of months. Maybe you can do a year or so at her college or college in Toronto and thus being with her. But I assume that costs a lot of money. And OP never responded. So yes, like I said, it's complicated. It's you need to really think about it. Okay, let's go with the next story. Okay, so next story. Am I the asshole for not forgiving my boyfriend for texting another woman? I don't think so. But okay, let's get the context. I am 23 female and my ex-boyfriend, oh my god, yes, ex. We like how that sounds. And my ex-boyfriend is 22 male. I was with my ex for 1.7 years. I think that's 1 year and 7 months. When I found out he was texting another girl behind my back the entire time. She wouldn't always respond, but he'd make it a point to message her sometimes 6 times in 1 month to get her attention. Typical flirting and telling her that she is his crush. And sending selfies to each other. We were long distance, so I found it extremely painful to see sometimes he'd message her for 2 weeks after he last saw me. Or even on our FaceTime calls, he was texting her. Okay. He says that they never meet up, but this woman reached out to me claiming she never knew he had a girlfriend, but that he wanted to meet up with her. My ex-boyfriend has been extremely apologetic. Nope. Getting his parents involved. Nope. Crying. That's a crocodile tears, my dear. Buying me gifts worth hundreds of dollars. He has told me that he's deeply insecure over long distance. Go to therapy. If you feel insecure, you go to therapy. You tackle your insecurities with a therapist. You don't cheat. Well, insecure people, the people who cheat are usually insecure people. So if you're a cheater, please go to therapy and don't play with someone else's heart, okay? He was insecure over long distance and wanted some attention from someone out of his league. Okay, the dude is icky. He has been in therapy twice a week, waiting to prove to me he will change from this. The problem is I spent the entire relationship begging him to be better. I endured a lot of yelling, my baby, no. Low patience and him starting fights with me on trips. I wanted to go on a Ferris wheel in Seattle and he actually decided to ditch me for 2 hours and point in my face over him not even wanting to be in Seattle and blaming me, even though we agreed to it. Oh no, babes, he's trying to manipulate you. So don't. Stay as X. Yeah, okay. I was blinded by his mean treatment because he was always sorrowful, but I'm seeing a level of pleading and begging for about 2.5 months now to please forgive him. He explained that he lost me and didn't love her and just did it because he has issues, but he's working through them. He told me that it's heartless to not give. People are. See, and this is why I'm single. Guys. Not only I am not willing to put myself out there, but I cannot tolerate bullshit. Like, I cannot. I am so comfortable with my peace that somebody pulling this type of bullshit, like, it's harmless to not give me a second chance after I cheated on you emotionally. Boy, please. He told me that it's heartless of me to not give him a second chance, and that if I cheated, no, he wouldn't. I know what he's trying to pull, and he wouldn't. If you cheated, babe, man will, he will, and you will never see that man again. He will disappear. But okay. And that if I cheated, he would forgive me. But the entire relationship, he accused me of cheating because he was cheating. And would always talk down to me. It's hard to come back with, in my opinion, from 1 year and 7 months of him lying, disrespecting, and playing head games. I know he loves me. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. In his own dysfunctional way, no, he doesn't. But I feel really burnt out and told him I don't think I can forgive him for this. And he's saying I'm effed up for that. That he didn't even meet up with anyone to cheat, just harmless text. He didn't meet up with her because she rejected him. Let's be real. If that girl would have said yes to that man, he would have cheated physically on you. Okay? There are two types of cheating. Emotional cheating and physically cheating. And in my opinion, emotional cheating is the worst. It's the worst. It's awful. I would not forgive any of those, and I think nobody should. But, people... But this piece of person is obviously trying to manipulate you and trying to make you feel guilty and being like, but I'm trying to be better. I'm going to be better. I swear on my mama. I'm going to be the best version of myself. No. Thank you, but no. Thank you, but I pass. Don't go back with that man. That man never loved. He doesn't love you. He doesn't love you. He doesn't. When you love someone, you wouldn't do anything that would hurt the other person. Like, you wouldn't. And that, like, you're so heartless because you don't want to forgive him. Babe, you're in your right because this man disrespected you. He disrespected you. And he made a fool out of you. So when someone disrespects us and makes a fool out of us, we have all the right to cut these people off our life. You are in all of your right to not talk with this person, not forgive him, let him cry boo-boo, let him spend money. If he doesn't want the money back, you can sell those gifts and get that money. Just emotional. How do you say that? That has a name. Emotional compensation? Yes. Because at the end of the day, he hurt you. And he put you through emotional distress. So basically, that money could be, those gifts could be like emotional compensation. I'm just saying. But let's see what Reddit has to say about it. There was a comment that was deleted, so it was probably very, very harsh. You are definitely not the a-hole, and it seems like the only way he's going to move on is if you force him to. In my experience, stop responding to any attempt of communication. If he's really in therapy twice a week, his therapist will explain why that was the best course of action. Well, if he's being honest with them, they will. But can we just for a second circle back to around 1.7 years? That's the most peculiar way I've heard anyone indicate a length of time. A year and a half, normal. A little over a year and a half, still normal. A year and 9 months, I will run for the sake of purity, but not odd. 1.7 years, I see you've chosen violence, and now I've got to break out the abacus to do calculations. You're cracking up, you responded. You are cracking me up right now. I don't know why, but that was my version of saying 1 year and 7 months. Okay, I understand that correctly. But I'm learning nobody types like this. I think everyone is disruptive with my measurements, and yeah, unfortunately, going no content is hard. Always receiving burner calls and emails, but I'll have to just be more proactive about no contact. Somebody else put, so this man who has a history of cheating on you, emotionally manipulating you, and literally abandoning you in a foreign city is now gaslighting you and trying to love bomb you into talking him back. Exactly. Honey, you're too young for this BS. The trash took itself out. Let him go. Oh my god, yes. He literally left you alone in another city. I forgot about that. He's a piece of you know what. So, and this is the last comment I'm going to read. Not the asshole. Block him on everything. Do you enjoy the drama? Why on earth are you still talking to him 2.5 months later? He's likely talking with lots of girls right now. Of course he is. But no one wants him. Exactly. He didn't cheat because that girl did not want him. Because if that girl had said to him like, yes, let's meet up, he would 100% cheat. He would have slept with her. He would have kissed her. No proofs, but I have zero doubts. But no one wants him, lol. As soon as some poor girl gets talking, he'll stop bugging you. He might even become really cruel. Seriously, just block and move on. 23 is such a fun age. Don't sit around dealing with some guy like this. There are so many better humans out there. Okay, so last story before the update is from Entitled People, and it's called Entitled Couples Meltdown equals My Luxury Upgrade. And this is this story is happened very, very years, a lot of years back in 2008, but the story was posted 18 days ago. Back in 2008, my partner and I took a great cruise through South America. Picture this: 3 days in Rio during Carnival, a week of debauchery on the high seas. I don't know how you say that word, but okay. And wrapping up in fabulous Buenos Aires. Pure bliss, well, mostly. Back then, the concept of a boatload of homos jogging in port was breaking news in some places. Everyone was friendly, but I still felt like one misstep by any of us would be a permanent black mark on case everywhere. The stakes were high. Now, my partner and I weren't exactly rolling inside cabin pool, but we splurged on a few nights at a nice hotel after the cruise. Turns out so did half the queens on that ship. By 10 a.m., there was a line snacking out the lobby doors. Yeah, that was the lobby stores. All of us hungover and politely waiting our turn to drop bags and wander off until check-in. Enter them. A couple behind us decided they were simply too important to wait. One of them had some VIP ultra diamond titanium whatever status with the hotel, which supposedly came with early check-in. The clerk, who had the patience of a saint, explained that early check-in was based on availability, and at 10 a.m. there wasn't any. Yeah, usually this is very wrong, because if you have tourists and customers that enter your hotel before 12, you should the check-in hour. But here check-in what time is, because usually where I'm from, check-in is at 4 p.m. and the checkout is at 12. So I don't know how that works in Buenos Aires, but there wasn't any. But these two, oh no, they lost their entire minds. Voices were raised, the clerk's intelligence was questioned, her English, which was impeccable but slightly accented, we were in Buenos Aires, was smoked. It was full Karen energy but double barrel gay edition. Security eventually stepped in. When it was finally our turn, I feel like I needed to make amends for the sins of our people. For the sins, I'm sorry, I misread that. When it was finally our turn, I felt like I needed to make amends for the sins of our people. I apologized to the clerk, told her no one should be spoken like that, and casually mentioned how much we appreciated her professionalism. We had a lovely little chat about travel and the cruise while she processed while she processed oh while she processed what I assumed was a placeholder for when check-in time rolled around, except it wasn't. With a smile, she handed us 2 keys for a suite, a massive suite with a stunning view and rooftop pool access right down the hall. Enjoy your stay, she said with a wink, and enjoy we did. So the entitled queens to scream their way into oblivion. Gracias, darlings. The views were everything. See, kindness takes you a long way. Let's just please be kind to people because they are doing their jobs and they're doing their jobs the best they can. So please show them kindness because some people are not like the most exciting people to treat with. And I know people in the service industry that have had some very interesting customers, and it's just not it. A lot of come and be like, I love this. When everyone treats everyone else like a person who matters exactly, everyone wins. Well done, and I bet those views were extra pretty with all the karmic justice in the air. Granny Weatherwax put it nicely. Sin, young man, is when you treat people like things, including yourself. That's what sin is. Finally, the update on the maid of honor that finds out that the bride was studying shit behind her back after she paid for a lot of things. This story I read in my previous People Unhinged episode, so just go listen to the first part of the story and let's begin. Hi everyone, this post definitely blew up more than I was expecting, so I wanted to give you a quick update. After this happened, a few things that some of you said to me really stuck with me. I was looking at all of this from the perspective of wanting to lose access to the children of the bride who I loved deeply. But I was not realizing that by allowing their mother to treat me poorly, that I was modeling for the kids how to treat their own loved ones. That really was a light bulb moment for me, and I realized I needed to cut ties. I initially told her that I needed space from her because of the way she has treated me as a friend, which she did not take well, and I had to block her number and delete her off social media to stop her from berating me with texts. Once I did that, it was insane how much better I felt. I truly didn't realize how much time and energy she took out of me every single day. I felt like a literal weight was lifted from my chest, and I wasn't filled with anxiety about whatever drama she constantly called/texted me about. I had no idea how much she had slowly taken from me across the course of our friendship. But it was like being free of an emotional vampire, Free of an emotional vampire. However, despite feeling so much better, I still felt that I needed closure regarding the kids who I do love and miss. I needed to know in my heart that I did everything I could for them, to know none of this is their fault. I decided to drop off the presents I already bought at their front doorstep and left a note letting her know that I was informed she spoke poorly about me in front of her children during her wedding day, and that I simply cannot accept that disrespect anymore. It was very short and sweet, and I didn't go into much detail than that. I also told her I had no interest in reuniting any type of friendship, that this was my closure, and I do not want her to contact me further. Apparently, she immediately took to social media and began making dozens of posts / TikTok videos denying everything as well as involving the kids in the videos. So sad, yeah. Trash talking me and calling me a narcissist, which is laughable honestly, and it's her go-to insult for everyone who wrongs her. I had friends send me a few in disbelief, and while I appreciate being informed, I asked them to not send me anymore because I don't really care and I don't want to give her the satisfaction of knowing I saw any of them. Honestly, I just feel so bad for the kids and I feel nothing but pity for their mother. How sad to be 33 years old and instead of spending time on Christmas morning with your children, you are making TikTok videos to try to upset me and failing at it at that. Anyway, that's my update. I'm glad to finally put all of this behind me. I really feel like I've closed the chapter of such a chaotic and drama-filled portion of my life. If any of you are dealing with a person like this in your lives, get out. Life is so much better without them in it to drag you down. I promise. Friendships, which is platonic love, is one of the most important bonds and one of the most beautiful bonds because I feel like I said this somewhere. Yeah, in a past. It's someone who is not kin related, someone who has no romantic interest in you, someone who saw you and got to know you and was like, yeah, I want you in my life. I want to share life with you. I want you to be my person. Like, to me, the most beautiful soulmates are platonic soulmates, are your friends. There's like a nice bond there. And with this said, every type of relationship that involves love should not bring us anxiety. It applies to romantic relationships, to family relationships, and to friendships. It should not make you feel bad. You should not be feeling anxious. It should not bring chaos into your life, because that's your safe place. That's where you go when you want to run from the chaos that life already is. So yeah, if you got people like that in your life, people who are negative in very unhealthy ways, people who are constantly complaining, people who have drama. In case you guys don't know, so this girl is 33 years old and she basically has no friends, and she always fought with people who were their friends, and it was always their fault. And she was, like I said, when it becomes a pattern, it's something is wrong with you. If you are constantly in these situations and you keep having problems with people, the problem is you. Most of the times, like I said, there's exceptions to every rule. And like she said, if you have friends like this, persons that instead of lifting you up and bringing you peace and being your comfort zone in your life, and they bring unnecessary drama and involve you in unnecessary trauma, just leave. I know nobody prepare us for a friendship breakup, but it's the most sane thing to do. Let's see what Reddy has to say. Someone said, when I blocked my narcissistic friend, it was amazing how free I felt. Like, I can go get coffee just by myself without having to invite her. I don't have I don't have her always coming to my house interrupting day and night with my husband. I can hang out with other friends without her guilting me. I wish it had turned out differently, but people are going to make choices. You can choose for them. And life is too short to spend time around people who drain you. Wise, wise words. It applies to everything. Opie responded, "Oh my god, this. I don't have to pretend I go to bed at 7 p.m. so she won't call me 20 times and interrupt my evening. I don't have her whining. Why wasn't I invited to a friend's birthday party who she's never even met? I'm so glad that you got rid of the negative friend in your life too. No one should cause stress like that. I'm so glad you walked away from her. Congratulations on your engagement and that gorgeous ring living. That gorgeous ring. Living life well is truly the best revenge." Somebody else said, and this is the last comment I'm going to read. "I rid myself of a 35-year friendship." Wow. It was hard, but I could no longer take the negativity. That was 4 years ago. I brought that off. I just recently saw her at a restaurant. I wonder if I would have any regrets, feel bad anything. But I felt absolutely nothing. I didn't acknowledge her. I didn't say anything. It was like she wasn't even there. So what do we learn in today's episode? So from this last story, cut the people who bring you down and add unnecessary stress and negativity into your life. Don't be a man child, please. But the story about the boy throwing a tantrum, about that man, because let's not call it a boy. Let's call it what it is. It's a man throwing a tantrum. That was wild. Long distance is complicated, so I'm not going to do like a whole. Okay, so that was a very interesting close to that story. She had to do that. Like, someone who's bringing you unnecessary drama and disrespecting you just has to go. For your sanity and for your well-being. That's it. And honestly, poor kids, because they're growing up with someone who clearly has some issues. Anyway, guys, that was all for today. This episode is so long. I don't know why it's there were a lot of stories, plus I share my personal unhinged story. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it just as much as I enjoy recording this. That's it. So if you're new here, if you're new here, please just join the community. It's fun. There are already 14 other episodes out. Maybe you're going through something and one of those episodes resonates with you and what you're going through in life, so just go and check them out. Once again, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, and YouTube. We have a Instagram account, Figuring Life Out the podcast. You can follow me if you want on my personal accounts on Instagram and TikTok. I go by my full name, Fernanda Camila Diaz. I'm gonna leave the links also down there, and they are also in the description of the channel. So if you're watching from YouTube, so you can go and show me your love and support. I set my mind on doing great content this month because love is a very big subject. I already have an episode. It's called Girls Talk, and it's about romantic love. I did it with I recorded it almost 2 years ago with my best friend. I was thinking about posting that or doing a special episode for Valentine's Day. I still don't know. I will let you guys know on our socials. Yeah, so maybe this month will be 3 episodes. I'm still on the fence about it. On Instagram, yes, there will be a lot of content. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we're turning pink and red for Love Month. We're going to be talking about friendships, romantic relationships, family, self-love, how to get through this month without bawling your eyes out, because I know for some people, like I said, for a lot of us single folks, like, it's a lot, and we can get depressed. That's okay, I got you. We are also going to be doing like gift suggestions. I don't know, I'm still like, I have a clear vision of the content, but I still need to process it, because I'm usually posting around 4 or 3 times per week. I don't post on weekends because that's my free days. We don't do that here. So yeah, that's it. The next episode is going to be, again, I don't know if I'm going to end up doing the special episode about love, but I'm 1000% sure that the next episode for sure, episode 17, 16, is going to be about platonic relationships. I'm very excited to talk about this, because if you don't know, I'm that annoying person who keeps rubbing you on your face that she has amazing friendships. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about platonic relationships and how much that changed my life and how it has impacted me, and the benefits of platonic relationships. I'm still don't know, because I haven't recorded the episode and I don't have the script yet, but it's coming, okay? So yeah, that's it. I won't talk anymore because this episode is extremely long. I know, like I said, I know it's going to be a tough month for you guys, for some of you guys. But remember, you are love. You represent love. If you love your family, if you love yourself, if you love doing cute things, if you love your job, your hobbies, you are the representation of love, babes. You are the representation of love, and you are very, very loved. You are appreciated. You are talented. You are amazing. You are needed in this earth. You are appreciated in this world, and I love you very, very, very much. And even if nobody else loves you, I love you. Okay, so I love you very, 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 very much, from here to the moon, to Saturn, to Pluto, to the infinite, to the next galaxy. And that's all for today. See you on the next episode. Bye.